Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com, and we got a ton of NFL action. We got a jam-packed show today. We got John Grace coming on, Pro Football Doc, to give you guys all the injury reports around the league. And let me go around the horn real quick. We got Jimmy the Sheep Batista. You guys know the man, the myth, the legend. We got real Jamie Gold. We got Matt Maltepis from the College Kids. We got 8 Ball live from Las Vegas. He must have chartered a private plane to get out there. Didn't tell nobody, just snuck out there. And we got Bobby from the College Kids. So let's get this party started real quick. We're going to talk about our futures on the Browns, TCK. I'll go to Bobby and Matt. You guys worry? I mean, Deshaun Watson hasn't looked too great. Chubb is out for the year. Does that worry you at all, Bobby?
No, not so much. I think the Conklin loss is a lot more valuable, obviously, than Chubb. I don't believe in running backs being, especially behind that offensive line. You could put Stevie Wonder behind that line, and he'd be averaging 4 yards per carry.
I mean, I know they got a good line, but Chubb's a little different. Let's be honest. And you see it. You saw a little momentum shift in that game when he got hurt. Now, I think they're all professionals. They bounce back a little bit, but that doesn't worry you at all, just Chubb going out, Bobby? Not one little bit?
I mean, a little bit, yeah, because he's a big part of their offense. But I believe that Jerome Ford showed flashes of being a capable running back in that offense. I guess the big thing for them is Watson going to play up to his contract? And in Stefanski's run-first offense, is Stefanski too stubborn to not make a change to more passing plays for Deshaun and what he's comfortable with?
Yeah, let me go to Matty. Matty, you still feel comfortable with that? I mean, it is a long shot future. We took 40-1. It wasn't one of our bigger bets in the futures market. But, Matt, you got any worries here? You think they still get in the playoffs after the first 2 weeks?
Speaking back on Bob's point, running backs, I mean, we see their value in the general manager's eyes when they give them contracts. They don't pay them because they're not worth as much. Chubb, obviously a bigger guy who runs you down or wears you out down the stretch. But I think, as Bobby said, the main focus is on Deshaun Watson. And that interception he had was a bullshit interception. He got tipped like twice, and then it ended up getting caught by the opposing team, and they ran it back for touchdown. So I don't think Deshaun necessarily played the worst. I think the biggest concern for me is Conklin being out. I think that was the biggest concern for me, but I still think this Cleveland Browns team is going to the playoffs.
Let me go to Jamie. Jamie, as of right now, San Francisco 49ers are plus 700 to win it all. They're the favorite. How do you feel about this team? They start off 2-0. I mean, you must be feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling really good about them. I agree with you. There is some concern about Brock Purdy's ability to go deep, and that could really affect them down the line. But we're recording this on Thursday before the Thursday night football game, and I believe that they're going to crush the Giants. So I'm
Jimmy shaking his head. Jimmy's shaking his head. Hold on, Jimmy.
I'm not taking the Jamie 10. Rivalry.
I'm not taking the 10. I'm teasing them. I'm teasing them with the Dolphins. I'm doing a 3-teamer with them, the Dolphins.
10 point
Dallas. Yep. But I am still really high on the Niners. They are going to win this game. They're so much better than the Giants. The Giants don't even have Saquon. They don't have 2 of their offensive linemen.
What do they win by, Jamie? Go ahead. What do they win by?
As long as they don't win by more than 10.
I think they're going to win by anywhere from 7 to 28.
28.
Alternate line.
Alternate spread.
I'm not comfortable taking the 10, though, so I'm obviously not betting them minus 10. I would if I had to. If we had to.
I mean, they're missing their stud wide receiver tonight, James. That could affect the offense a little bit. Let me go to April. April, you got to move on this game?
Giants plus 10.5.
Sheep, you like anybody here?
I'm the dog. I like the dog tonight too. I agree with the 8 ball, and I like the dog in the first half. I like the dog in the teaser. I agree with the ball. The 8 ball. Do you hear that, Jamie? The 8 ball.
Giants and under teaser.
Well, it is. Listen, it is more beneficial since we're always talking about the price to tease down, right? To get below 7. When you're going up in those higher numbers, they're not worth as much. But if you want to bury a side and get down as much as possible, I tell people just go ahead and fire. If you think you got a huge edge on a side, time into parlays, time into teasers, time into everything you can. First half, second half. Yeah, bury them. Let me go to 8 ball real quick since he's live out in Vegas. How you feeling about these Dallas Cowboys? We got 1 minute and 30 seconds, so break it down. You think they can win it all, even though their quarterback got hurt today?
I think they're still who I thought they were. I mean, their defense has dominated through 2 weeks. Week 1, they went 40-0 on the road against a division opponent. Last week, they opened up 3. Aaron Rodgers goes out. They still win by 20. They're just dominating both sides of the football right now. I still need to see more from Dak to get more confident, in terms of them, being able to score at will. But the defense going great right now. Diggs went out, but you still have Gilmore back there, and they still have a great defensive line.
Yeah, and that other kid coming in, he runs a 4.4. He's got a 36-inch vertical. He's got 9-inch hands. He's actually returned an interception for a touchdown this season already for the Cowboys. So their backup corner, I think he's a stud. I think he can do the job. Their odds are now down to plus 750. We took them at 16-1, so that makes us feel better. The only 2 teams ahead of them are the 49ers and the Chiefs at plus 700. And like you said, they beat the Giants 40-0, and they put up 30 points against the Jets defense.
Go to get
To 16 points. So we'll be right back in about a minute. Stay tuned. We're going to have some more legendary action.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. And we're talking about our futures on the Cowboys, on San Francisco, on the Browns. And I know, 8 ball, you have a big future on the Dolphins this year. You took them at 40-1. They're down to 15-1. I know they're a little banged up. Does that concern you at all?
Not really. I think they're going to get healthy soon. Tua's been amazing. The problem was last year, the concussions. He looks great right now. The offensive line is holding up. That was a concern in the preseason. They're scoring points at will. They dominated New England. Right now, I'm feeling very confident in that future.
Do you got a move on their game this week, on the side, on the total?
Not yet, but I'm leaning towards placing a future on Tua as the MVP. That's how confident I am in them this year.
Wow. So you think he's going to have a big season, huh?
I'm actually thinking about taking the Dolphins straight this week. I love it when they get home, when they're at home. There is an advantage that they get. The one side of the stadium on their bench is, let's say, 75, 80 degrees, and the other opposing bench is at 120 degrees. There is an absolute extra kind of advantage that they have, but I also think they're playing great. I'm so impressed with what I see from them. So I'm going to take some on the Dolphins straight, but I love them in the teasers this week. Like 2.5 with the Dolphins. I love that teaser.
It kind of scares me a little bit. I mean, over 75% of the action right now. I know it's early in the week or on Miami, but like you said, if you tease them down, I can't see them losing this game. Would you get them at a pick 'em, basically?
Yeah. You can get them at a pick 'em, maybe a 0.5, half a point. But yeah, I'm just really high on the Dolphins right now. I may be over overcorrecting on the number a little bit, but I'm going with the Dolphins.
I agree with Jamie. I think teasing them down is a good move. I also agree with you. I think laying 7's a bit too much, but teaser, I definitely agree.
Maddie, I mean, Miami has started off the season 2-0. If you're looking to, bet on them this week, do you think they're a little overpriced against a Denver team that's really, really hungry, starting off the season 0-2, 2 close losses? Would you look to lay the number or take the dog here?
It was a tough one for me. We saw Denver. Their defense struggled with Washington and did not perform well last week. Miami's defense has not been amazing either. We saw the game against the Chargers. So it kind of concerns me a little bit. I actually wanted to look at the total a little bit. I'm going to let it marinate on me, but I might be leaning towards the over here. We'll see as the week progresses. Make sure to follow us at TCK_experience to get the most updated, latest moves.
Yeah, you can put this on the golden recap, Jamie. I took the Broncos at +7. I think this is it. I mean, teams that start off 0-3 in the NFL will not make the playoffs. This is do or die for Sean Payton and this Broncos team. And Miami is a little banged up. They're limping into this one. I know they got a great home field advantage, but this is a game that Denver has to compete in. They lost 2 close games. I know it was Washington and it was the Raiders, but this is a game that they have to come to play or else the season's basically over. So I took +7 on the dog here. Bobby, you like anyone in this matchup?
I don't like a side in this matchup, but me and Matt went over this game a little bit, and we were leaning towards the over because Denver showed that their defense led up against Washington's offense. I believe it was like 35 points. And in order to beat Miami this year, it seems like you're going to have to beat them in a shootout. So I would lean towards the over right now.
Sheep, you're the man with all the information. Costa Rica, Asian market, Pacific market, West Coast market, you name it, all the markets, everything but the Boston market. What's going on? You like anyone here?
I lean towards the dog. I also agree with you, +7. I do. I like the dog in this point. Not, if they go 0-3 in their conference and division, they got problems.
And that price is kind of cheap. I think it should have came out a little higher. I think the bookmakers are trying to reel you in a little bit with that 6.5. Now, do they lose the game? I don't think so. But I mean, if you get that,
there's another team like that in the AFC that can't go to 0-3 that we all love, and I even love them more this week.
Go ahead. No one's holding you back. Who you like? Fire away.
We're recording, Jimmy.
He's got a Mitch McConnell moment right there. He just froze up.
He's frozen.
Okay?
Cleveland Browns. Yeah, we'll get to that game.
Love the Browns.
All right, let's go real quick to the division futures, right? Let's get a little division breakdown, a little round table discussion here. NFC East, as of right now, the Birds and the Cowboys are both 2-0. The Eagles are basically even money to win the division. Cowboys, you can grab +05. The Commanders, who are also 2-0, you can get 18-1 on this team. Giants at 1-1 +25. Let me go to April first. April, I know we got huge futures on the Cowboys. I got 20 dimes on them to win the whole thing. I got a bunch of money to win the NFC East, as you do, over 9.5 wins. We actually took the alternate line over 11.5 wins +2 something. But when it comes to the Commanders, have they shown you enough where maybe they can compete here in the NFC East?
I've never been a fan of Ron Rivera. I don't think they have enough on that team to compete in terms of taking the division over from the Eagles and the Cowboys. The Giants, to me, they're a bad team. So it's between the Eagles and Cowboys, like we thought it was at the beginning of the year, and I'm still very confident in the Cowboys winning this division and getting to the Super Bowl. All
right, let's go to the NFC North. As of right now, the Lions still the favorite here, -105 to win the division. The Packers are at +200. You can still get 2-1 on a team that might surprise a lot of people. The Vikings and Bears. Vikings are 5-1. Forget about this Bears team. They're at 13-1. That's Justin Fields. I'm sitting there. I got a +3 ticket on the team. I got him in the teaser. I got the under, and I'm thinking I'm going to go at least 2-0-1. And in the blink of an eye, Jimmy, he throws that pick 6, and we lose. We go 0-3. I mean, how bad is this Bears team?
They are bad.
They're
Might be worse than the Cardinals.
If I'm correct, did he blame the coach today?
Yeah, making things worse.
I thought I was reading something. I was going through notes that he actually blamed. Maybe it's the coach.
I mean, when do you give up? I mean, the 49ers gave up on Trey Lance. When did the Bears give up? Let me go to Matt from the college, because Matt, when did the Bears give up on Justin Fields or do they at all? I mean, that Bears franchise over the last few years, they can't get the quarterback situation straightened out.
Well, last week or the week before, we had David Kaplan come on, good friend of mine, and he talked about how Justin Fields is not going through his progressions correctly. And that's exactly true. And that's a big reason why they're struggling. Sure, he can move. Sure, he can run. But when you want to win in this league, you need a guy who can throw the ball. Look at the Super Bowl winners. This guy, I mean, either he has to go or he has to start performing better. It's not whether you win or lose. It's whether you win.
Let me go to Jamie real quick. Jamie, you can still get 2-1 on the Packers to win the NFC North. You feel comfortable with that wagers, or you still think the Lions are the team to beat in that division?
I mean, the Packers are showing something more than I thought that they would, but I don't think it's time to abandon the Lions. I know they're not as strong as I thought they were going to be so far, but I still think they have a lot of potential.
8-Ball, I know you got some tickets on the Packers to win the division. You feel better? You feel worse? Are you worried at all about those tickets you have on the Packers to win the NFC North?
We took 4-1 on the Packers to win the NFC North. I think they're a better team all around in terms of defense, offense, special teams. Lions, their defense still doesn't impress me. Last year they ranked last in opponents' yards per play. This year they still, haven't played that great. And they drafted a running back in the first round. Whenever I see that, I know a team doesn't know what it's doing.
Yeah, that pretty much scares you a little bit. Bobby, you got an opinion in this about this division? Who's going to win it? Who's going to take it home?
I agree with the 8-Ball here. I think Jordan Love is the real deal in Green Bay, and Detroit just lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson, big part of their defense. And they're also dealing with some injuries all over the place. So I do like Green Bay's spot at 1-1.
All right, make sure you guys listen to us on Sirius XM channel 159, Sports Grid, JAKIB Sports on YouTube. And in our next segment, we're bringing on Pro Football Doc, one of my favorite guests. He's going to break down all the injuries in the NFL, the impactful ones, and it might help you win a wager. So stay tuned, and we'll be back real shortly.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. And we got all the animals on. We got Jimmy the Sheep Batista at Barry Right Number. We got Matt Maltepis at Matt Maltepis from the College Kids. Bobby at TCK Experience. The 8-Ball live in Las Vegas and World Series of Poker champion. And the legend, Jamie Gold. Before Pro Football Doc jumps on and starts giving out all the great information about who's banged up and who's not in the NFL, let's continue this discussion about the divisions. Let's go to the AFC East. I'm going to go to 8-Ball first. As of right now, the Dolphins are sitting as the favorite at plus 105. The Bills, surprisingly, you can grab plus 120 on them to win the AFC East. The Jets, I think everyone's pretty much given up on this team since Aaron Rodgers got hurt. You can grab them at plus 1,500. And the Patriots at 0-2. I mean, they've showed some flashes against two pretty good teams to start the season, but they're at plus 1,200. 8-Ball, I know you're on the Dolphins. You still feel confident. And is there any other team in that division that might scare you a little bit?
With Rodgers being hurt, the only other team obviously is going to be the Bills. They played bad week 1. They came back. They dominated the Raiders week 2. So we don't really know what they are yet, but I'm still very confident Miami's the best team in this division.
Yeah, let me go to TCK. Let me go to Matt from the College Kids here. The Patriots at 0-2. I mean, if they don't have those 2 quick turnovers against the Eagles, they probably win that game. And then they lose the turnover battle again last week against Miami. You're getting 12-1 on this team. You think they can make any noise, or are the Dolphins the team to beat in this division this year?
If you are looking for a lottery ticket, I mean, I don't mind New England. I mean, they should. It's possible that they could be 2-0. It's possible that they beat the Eagles. I mean, we looked at the turnover battle, but when you look at the box score and the metrics, the Eagles should have lost that game. So definitely, if you're looking for a lottery ticket and you're looking for somewhere to place it, this might be a spot.
Jamie, let me go to you next. The Bills at plus 120. I mean, they were one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl before the season started. They had some issues against that Jets defense. and surprisingly, they lost that game. You think there's any value here taking the Bills at plus 120, even though the Dolphins have started off red hot?
I don't know. I don't like the number. If the price isn't right, as you just said, we don't really know who they are yet. 8-ball, I agree. I would say that the Dolphins are really the team to watch based on the number, right? That preseason number. It was such a sharp move that you made. I loved it. I took some of it myself, and the number that we got on the Dolphins was just way too good.
Yeah, let me go to Jimmy real quick. Jimmy, you think the Bills you think that window closed on this team? They were right there for over the last couple of seasons.
I do agree with the 8-ball. I do like Miami as the best team in the division, but we're playing a 17-game schedule, and the most important thing is health, where these teams are after Thanksgiving, and I'm going to see the injuries and stuff like that. So Josh Allen is still a fucking stud. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, he looked atrocious against the Jets week 1, threw 4 picks, head up his ass and everything. But next week he came out looking like flowers. So, I mean, he's still there. So it's Miami there, and I think as long as they're healthy, they're going to be right up there with Miami at the very end.
Well, before the show started, me and Matt put some odds on how many F-bombs you're going to drop on this show. And the over and under was 2.5. It's both of them. The over and under was 2.5. I think you're at 2 already. So I'm not going to tell you which way we bet it, but just keep firing, baby. All right, let's go to the AFC North. Let me go to Bobby. Bobby, the Browns kind of let us down a little bit against the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers didn't even get in the red zone on offense. As of right now, you can grab the Browns at plus 330 to win the division, but the Ravens have come out pretty strong. Basically even money right now to win the AFC North. Steelers at plus 550. The Bengals 0-2 plus 475. You still backing the Browns here, or are you starting to feel the Ravens a little bit?
No, I'm still backing the Browns here. I think if there's any defense in that division that can stop and contain Lamar Jackson in that offense, it's the Cleveland Browns. I wouldn't lay money on Joe Burrow with his calf injury. Bengals don't look right. I'm not high on them. And Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh, if you look at the box score the last game, they only had 1 offensive touchdown. So their offense doesn't impress me at all. I still like the Browns here at, I think you said 3-1.
8-ball, you starting to get a little bullish on the Ravens team, or you still like the Browns here after what you've witnessed over the first 2 weeks of the season?
The Ravens are always a great regular season team. So obviously they're going to be there at the end, make it close in this division. I still love the Browns here. I think their defense is by far the best in the conference. So it's all about Deshaun Watson. If he can get back to the level that he was, this team's scary.
Jamie, I know you went under 9.5 wins for the Browns before the season started. They've started off 1-1. Has anything changed? Has your opinion changed about this team, or are you still bullish on the Ravens?
I think the Ravens are a better team than the Browns from what I've seen. I think Nick Chubb does make a big difference. I think there are certain running backs that teams build their whole kind of offense around, and that offense was built for Nick Chubb, and he's now gone. And so I don't know. I'm not as high on the Browns as you all are. I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're winning 10 games.
All right, let's go to a division that nobody thought any team would be good at. I mean, other than the Saints. And let's go to the NFC South. The Falcons started off 2-0. The Saints started off 2-0. The Buccaneers started off 2-0. I mean, the Falcons right now, you can grab them plus 175 to win the South. The Saints plus 115. The Buccaneers plus 400. And the Panthers are 0-2. You can grab them at 22-1. Let me go to Matt first from the college kids. Are the Saints going to win this division, or are you looking maybe to slap some money on the Falcons here at almost 2-1?
Well, looking at the Falcons, first of all, before we get to the Falcons, talking about that, when a team runs more than their opponent, they're more likely to win the game. And all Atlanta does is run the damn ball. What they do is they limit the amount of turnovers. They
limit their mistakes.
So when you do that, you have a higher chance of winning. So I am looking to bet this Falcons team. I mean, I do think they have a shot.
Let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, who do you like in this division? I mean, it's still early, and it's a war of attrition. Injuries are going to play a major factor. But you think the Falcons got a shot here, or you still like the Saints?
I still like the Saints. I think the Falcons have a shot. This division, It's bad quarterbacks, bad coaches. It's tough to put your money on a team. But if I had to pick a team, I think the Saints all around, defensively, skill position players, and Derek Carr is all right. I think they're still the team to be in this division.
Yeah, and you make a great point, man. I think it's still wide open other than the Panthers here. And I know they lost their quarterback. He's hurt. Let me go to Jamie. Jamie, the Buccaneers at 2-0. They got a pretty good defense. You can grab 4-1. Are you looking to back them here, or are you still on the Saints?
I was not on the Saints.
I'm sorry.
I was actually I was looking at the Falcons.
You're on the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, from the beginning, I always felt like they could be a surprise this year. Not great, but you don't have to be great to win this division. I think, it's like, a team wins 9 games, they win that division. And so
and we did go over 8.5 wins for the Falcons. I thought that was
so that's where I feel like they can win 9 games. But if I had to take a team, I would take the Falcons, but I agree with you guys. It's just a terrible division, and I don't like putting my money on any of these teams.
Yeah, and the Saints do have the easier schedule out of all 4 teams, but you never know what happens. All right, let's go out to a division that we thought the Chiefs would start off 2-0. They start off the season 1-1. You can grab them at -260 to win the AFC West. The Raiders are 1-1 also. You grab 10-1 on them. The Chargers, surprisingly, 0-2. Big game this week. They have to win. You can grab 4-1 on them. And the Broncos, 0-2. You can grab 14-1 on them. Let me go to 8-ball first. You think there's any chance that the Chiefs don't win this division this year?
Listen, in my opinion, the Chargers are the best team in this division. The problem is they have the worst coach in the league.
He's horrible.
He doesn't win them games. He loses them games. Yeah. So I think it's the Chiefs' division to lose right now. Until the Chargers get rid of that guy, it's the Chiefs' division.
Yeah. Do you like
if Eckler was healthy, they could have won the last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, they're right there.
They're in both of them. It's the Chargers' way, though. The Chargers always mess up a good thing. That's the problem with that team. And as much as they're extremely talented, the problem is their defense a little bit. But yeah, they have all the potential in the world.
Jimmy, you like anybody in the Chargers Vikings game here? I mean, you can grab +1, maybe a pick 'em. Not sure where the line went to, but you like anyone here?
If I could grab 2 or better on, honest with you, I thought Kansas City would have got the money, but Minnesota's 1. I seen 1 in money. I'm hoping the public follows through with it, and I would take
Chargers
3
+1.
I'm only a dog here.
I got you. Let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, you like the Chargers this week? I mean, if they go 0-3, season's basically done.
I do like the Chargers this week. I love the over when it originally came out. I missed the number, though. But I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, and whoever has the ball last probably going to win this game.
Yeah, it opened up 51. It's ballooned up to 54. Jamie, you like a side in this game or the total? You like Chargers?
I'm leaning Chargers, and I would also take. I want to hear from Dr. Chow on where Eckler is. But if they had Eckler, I'm definitely going Chargers. But I kind of like a teaser on the Chargers and over.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean you got 2 teams that are both banged up. I like the Chargers here. I bet them on the money line. I know both teams can't afford to start off the season 0-0, but I think the Chargers get it done this week. I mean, top to bottom, I think they got the better roster. They got the better offense, and Tennessee's offense has been pretty much putrid to start the season. So I can't see them keep up with them. But I want everyone to hold on. We're going to come right back in the next segment, and we should have Pro Football Doc on. So stay tuned and don't go nowhere.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. And as we're waiting for Pro Football Doc to jump on and give out all the injury reports, let me go to Jamie real quick. Jamie, you got a certain game or a teaser or a total here you like more than any others in the NFL this week?
Well, I think I've mentioned most of them. I mean, the teams I really like teasing, we talked about San Francisco, Miami, Dallas, and the Ravens. So if people are listening to this show later after Thursday, so they're listening on Friday, I really like teasing Miami and the Ravens. I like teasing, the Chargers and Dallas. I think I've given my moves already.
All right, we got Pro Football Doc on backstage. Doc, come on in.
Oh, but we didn't talk about Monday night.
Yeah, thank you for joining the show, Doc. I appreciate you coming on. You're one of my favorite guests. You give out such information that's so profitable. I mean, it helps everyone win some money in the sports betting market. Thursday night, the big game here. San Fran, some injuries. What are the most impactful injuries on both sides of the ball on both teams here?
I'm sorry, you cut out for a second. Which game are you talking about?
Thursday night.
Thursday night tonight. Okay,
Yeah,
here's Thursday night. Okay, obviously Saquon Barkley. We've been saying all week and from in game that is a high ankle sprain for Saquon Barkley, and the team said ordinary ankle sprain. And on Amazon NFL, they just said, Taylor Rooks just said, high ankle sprain Saquon, and no guarantee for the next week. We've been saying like 3 weeks probably. 2019 he had a right ankle sprain. So all we say is you got to factor that in. There's some offensive line issues as well for the Giants. Obviously, San Francisco is favored quite a bit, and they should dominate. Nick Bosa feasting on a left tackle and a left guard starters that are out. I know Nick Bosa just came back from the holdout, but he's in good form and good shape. And so everything points to the 49ers, as does the spread. But, with Saquon out for sure and a bad offensive line, maybe there's a few more rushes for Danny Dimes.
There you go. All right, let's go to the Titans-Browns game. What team is more banged up at key positions? This is big for both these teams.
This is big for both these teams, and a big game. And, the Browns need a comeback game here. The Titans, DeAndre Hopkins still is not 100%, although he DNP'd all week and played. He's going to play again, but he's still not 100% from his mild high ankle. And I think the key here also for the Titans is Harold Landry is playing. He's a stud. He's not himself yet, coming off that right knee ACL. So you can factor into that what's going on there. Jack Conklin's out for the Cleveland Browns, but that young right tackle from Ohio State looks like he's got some promise there, right? And Amari Cooper played through his groin. We all know the bad news on Nick Chubb, right? And look, Nick Chubb, I don't know if this affects you guys at all for gambling, but look, it'd be unprecedented to return from 2 knee dislocations. And I hate to say this, and I hope he proves me wrong, he's not returning at the start of 2024 either. I mean, this is a long recovery. It'd be great news if he returned and was anywhere near himself in 2025. This is why running backs want to get paid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie, you got any questions for the Pro Football?
Yeah, Doc, I really need to know the status of Austin Eckler. I think he has such a big effect that people see the Chargers as a passing team, and rightfully so, but I think he has a real effect on whether or not they can win these games. And I think they would have won last week if they had him. And so please tell me the status.
Yeah, and you make a good point. And Eckler is part of the passing attack, right? Out of the backfield. And no question. Right now, look, Eckler loves the fantasy community. He does the tease. He's getting better. But 2 straight DNPs. He has a mild high ankle as well. Seems like there's a lot of those. And I don't know the inside scoop. And I work on insider knowledge, not insider information. And Eckler, though, here's the question. If he got a new contract, would he try and play through this high ankle where he's not necessarily 100%? So we'll have to let it play out. But right now, I'm leaning towards potentially out.
Yeah. Let me go to April. April, you got a question for the doc here?
Yeah. What's the latest on Joe Burrow? I know He had the new injury. We've seen the line movement in the game. What's the latest on him?
Well, the latest on him, look, you guys are the handicappers. You guys know it all, right? I just look at injuries. What we saw was the line, what started at 7, 6.5, and then dipped down to 2.5, right? And the guys in my room were like, somebody knows something. Joe Burrow's not playing. And what we said was not so fast here. Why? Get it. He's another DNP today, Joe Burrow. He was standing at practice with a calf sleeve. Yes, no question he tweaked it. We're the first ones to say this is going to bother him into October. But here's the key. Not so fast. It's not a guarantee that he's out for this game. Here's why. We would all say, and all Bengals fans would say, sit him this week if that will get him better. 1 week is not going to be enough. This is a calf strain from July 27th. He sat most of the preseason. The Bengals are 0-2, 0-3. You guys know the numbers. I get it now. There's 3, wild card teams, so it might be a little different. They don't want to go into a hole, but 1 week isn't going to put it past him. Look, Joe Burrow played week 1 without a problem, and week 2 got aggravated. So it remains to be seen. There'll be a discussion in the room. Will he play with an ankle foot orthosis assist? Will he do something mostly from the pocket? But, we liked the line when it dipped to 2. And by the way, I think Doug and the guys at Sports Injury Central, Philly Godfather, said they're going to do a special with you that if you put in promo code Godfather, you get a free week of sick picks. But we work on line movements and other things, and we put in there why we like something based on injury. And I would look at it as you should look at that compared to what you all know and do. And if it matches, maybe go stronger. If it doesn't, maybe, rethink the position. You guys got to do what you do, but it's the injury information that you can interpret. But if you use the Godfather code, I'm told that that'll get all your listeners a free week. So
make sure you jump on there at Pro Football Doc's website. Promo code Godfather. Let me go to Bobby. Bobby, you got a question for the doc here on the game?
Yeah, Doc. So on Monday night, the Eagles take on Tampa Bay, and there's a lot of injuries in the secondary between both teams, including Blankenship, Bradbury, and Carlton Davis. What are the odds of these guys playing Monday night?
Yeah, the Monday reports are still young and new, and our field views are still coming out, and we'll update them. So go to SIC Score, and we'll update them and as they come out. We don't like to jump on information and then retract. We like to be sure of a position, like Saquon's high ankle sprain, and then go with it rather than back and forth. It confuses people. So we are actually looking for a little bit of clarity there. But obviously, their secondary is an issue there, right, with some of the injuries that they've had, including Devontae Maddox and his pec, et cetera. So we're going to get that up soon and shortly at the site.
Doc, I got a question for you. I got a nice little wager on the Broncos here at +7 versus Miami this week. Who's got more injuries? Which team is, more impactful injuries? Which team?
Well, Tyreek Hill and his ankle injury, we don't think is that big of a deal. Miami, the left tackle always in and out a little bit. Obviously, some running back issues, although Mostert's looked good. Tua's been good so far. Overall, Miami's the healthier side, even though Judy is now back, et cetera. But they're still missing wide receivers from before. And Javonte Williams, I have to hand it to him. He's outperformed. He's still not 100%. And, what do you make of that controversy about, simplifying plays and all that stuff? I don't know what that all means, but I'm sure you guys do.
Yeah, let's go to another game that people are wondering about. The Colts versus Baltimore. Who's more banged up here?
Well, Baltimore continues to defy. Baltimore is more banged up, okay? But let me tell you, I've already said it early week. I don't believe Anthony Richardson will play. Factor that into what you have going on. And here's why. Look, it's a concussion. You can never judge concussions by video. I get it. He banged the back of his head. But here's why I'm saying I don't believe he will play. First of all, he hurt it on the second touchdown. And 33 plays elapsed for both teams before it was known he was out. He played 2 series of 3-and-outs. Okay, I'm not saying the Colts did anything wrong. I'm not saying that the eye in the sky did anything wrong, but he self-reported symptoms. So he either had symptoms for about 20 minutes of real time or perhaps developed symptoms at 20 minutes of real time. Medically, yes, I'm an orthopedist, but I supervise these protocols. This is delayed onset of symptoms or prolonged symptoms. Those types statistically don't return in 1 week. Besides all of that, the league doesn't want another Tua situation. Here's another young star. And, the independent neuro in Indianapolis is going to be held to a very high standard. You have to be very, very sure. So because of those reasons, I think it's going to be Gardner Minshew. Now, you can figure out what that means and where you want to bet and the line movements, et cetera. But that would be my information on that game. A strong belief that it will be very hard for Anthony Richardson to start and play.
All right, Doc, I want to appreciate you coming on the show. If you want to let everyone know where to find you on Twitter and your website before we let you go.
Yeah, Twitter's Pro Football Doc, but the SIC Score, also Twitter, SICScore.com. And if you go there, click on the picks and enter promo code Godfather, and you'll take a look. We're actually pretty good. We're pretty hot on Thursday night in the single games, maybe because my brain isn't like all of yours where you know all the numbers and stuff. And we go by the injury algorithm. We're really hot on the single games, in terms of what's going on. But we were +7 last week overall, so we'll see if that continues. But here's the thing. More importantly, we give you the why, then you decide what's going on.
Thanks for coming on, Doc. You're the best. Man.
Thank you.
We got John Grace in the waiting room. You guys want to bring him in?
Yeah.
Let's bring in John Grace, the Vegas man.
Is he still out there?
You meeting him up, 8-Ball?
I don't know. We'll see.
Did you hit him up yet or no?
No, I haven't hit him up yet. Actually, I hit him up to get me reservations at Delilah's.
There he is, John Grace.
Come on, guys.
We got a few minutes in this segment, a few minutes in the next segment. I want you to give out your favorite NFL move of the week. Who do you like this week?
I'm looking at the Commanders. I know 8-Ball was referring earlier to Ron Rivera not being a great coach, and I have to agree with him on a lot of previous plays, but I really love what Eric Bieniemy is doing with Sam Howell. His numbers are night and day, their offense from this year to last year. And also you can look at the stats between the Chiefs, so far in the 2 games compared to the Commanders offense in 2 games this year. Number 1 type offense last year. They're kind of in the middle of the pack right now. So really like what they're doing with Howell. And I think that the public's going to be heavy on the Bills. It could be a 1-possession game. Also, there's a huge weather front. Going to be another type weather for the East Coast games. So that's something to look at.
I got a question for you. What's the weather like in Vegas? Because I know you and 8-Ball are about to meet up. What's going on real quick?
Yeah,
we got 30 seconds.
It's probably like mid-80s, 90s. Cooler at night in the mid-60s. Hopefully they open the window for the Raiders-Steelers game at the Allegiant Stadium. I think I'll be going to that on Sunday.
John, does it rain in strip clubs?
Time out. We got 10 seconds left. Don't go away. I guess Jimmy wants to talk about strip clubs in the next segment. So we'll be right back.
Okay.
So a sheep walks into a strip club.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. We got our guest on, John Grace, live from Las Vegas. This is a shorter segment. We got about 2.5 minutes, John. So no breakdown necessary. If you want to rapid fire some other moves that you like in the NFL real quick before we go to the Golden Recap with Jamie Gold.
All right, sounds good. Love the Browns bounce back spot. Really think this is going to be a public dog on Tennessee. Honestly, I'd like Deshaun Watson to prove the haters wrong. Whatever his over-under prop on passing, I take that over.
Over 35.5. Start firing.
Also love Elijah Moore. I really think he's going to become a really big piece of this offense out of the backfield running the ball, and also his receptions props. He had, I think, 8 targets on Monday night. Deshaun kind of misplaced a few balls, but really think he's a good person to look at for props. Love the Saints, man, where I know we're all kind of high on them for the NFC South.
We're gonna have to wrap it up. John, thanks for coming on. I got to go to Jamie Gold real quick for the Golden Recap. Jamie, what do we got here?
All right, here's your golden recap for the NFL this week. I love San Francisco, -3 in a teaser. Look for the potential them winning by more than 20. I'm not willing to take the 10 though. San Francisco and Miami and Dallas in teasers. Philly Godfather in the 8 ball, like the Giants, plus 10.5. I like Miami, and I love teasing them with the Ravens.
You love teasing everything, Jamie.
3 points.
All right, we got a minute. Let him finish.
Philly Godfather Broncos plus 7. Bobby, the college kids, leans on the over in Miami. Jimmy loves the Browns. 8 ball and Philly Godfather like the Chargers on the money line. I like teasing the Chargers and the over. John Grace likes Washington plus 6. He likes Deshaun over 35.5 and a prop.
235.5. 235.5.
235.5. Yep, and the prop. And Elijah Moore in his receiving props. And John loves the Saints.
All right, there you go. That's the Golden Recap. I want to thank everyone for watching this show. I want to thank JAKIB Sports for having us on. Make sure you check us out on SiriusXM, Sports Grid, and JAKIB Sports on YouTube, and follow all of us on Twitter at Real Jamie Gold, at Matt Maltepis, at the 8 Ball, at Barry the Right Number, and I'm the Philly Godfather, and that's the show, guys. Take it easy.
Fire, boys.
Go Niners.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.